Welcome to My Impossible Dream. This is Karen, and we have a special show for you today. Today, not only are we going to be talking about dreams and possibilities, but we're going to be talking about dreams and possibilities with some people that I know very, very well. And the first person happens to be my own brother. Yes, I do know him pretty well. But you know what? I don't know all of his dreams, and I don't know all the possibilities that he still may have in his life. So I'm going to start out with asking my brother Joel, what have your dreams been all your life?
Well, on my most recurring dream is this big fuzzy thing chasing me down an alley, and I try.
I didn't say nightmares, I said dreams.
Um, I've always dreamed that that people would just treat each other better. Um, I've worked in um, Los Angeles and New York, mostly in big cities all my life, and people are working very hard to do the things that they want to do and make their own dreams and aspirations happen. And I find that way too often people aren't considerate enough about the person next to them or the person that may be affected by something that they do. And just always dream that it would someday be better than that.
So, one of the things that you do every week, you sit down and you write a blog. And in your blog, you just tell it like it is, which I think is great because so many of us we're afraid to use the truth. But you seem to research it, and that sort of leads to what you just said about your dreams. You want people to be open, but you want them to be kinder. How do you think we can start working towards that?
I wish I had an answer to it. My ranting in my weekly blog is mostly about all the things I wish I could fix, but I don't have any answers to how to fix them. Um, uh, in our country right now, we have probably the most dysfunctional government that we've ever known as Americans. Um, we can't accomplish the simplest things. We can't agree on much of anything. Um, and the country that I grew up in, which seemed pretty cool when I was a kid, just keeps getting worse and worse as the ability that we have technologically and through the remembrances of historical things that we could make it so much better um, don't seem to be getting any better.
Well, but don't you think that it is up to us individually to find solutions rather than complain about what's not good?
Well, yeah, absolutely. However, um, I find that the people who don't complain often are just burying their head in the sand and going on to the next thing. So um, I actually am, quite a complainer. I think that um, driving my car down the road shouldn't be an obstacle course because none of the roads are drivable anymore. Um, I think that there shouldn't be a discussion about healthcare in the United States, whether some people can have it and some people can't. That's just a preposterous notion to me that we don't think that everyone being healthy and everyone having some opportunity contributes to the wealth of our country, and that's only a good thing. So to hear, politicians or leaders of corporate giants complain about the lowest rungs of the ladder in our country as being whiny and unproductive and all of those things. Just, it gives me the creeps that, I live in a country now that doesn't seem to want to move forward.
Well, and I definitely agree with you, because when we grew up in the 50s and 60s, life was simpler. It looked rosier than it does today. But there are some of us who are, helping others and making life better. And one of the things that you've done recently is that you've shown that you really have a huge caring heart. I've always known that, but you've been working with Alex and you've been guiding him with his musical talents. Do you want to talk to us about why you would even do that? Because you do it for a living, and this is something you're doing on the side.
Well, before I answer the specific question, I don't want it to sound like I'm so much of a curmudgeon that I don't notice that there are lots of people who do amazing things and give of themselves to try to help others, because I see that every day. Specifically with Alex, I didn't ever really give it much thought, other than the fact that at some point in his early teens, suddenly Alex realized he had this amazing voice. And, as somebody who's been involved in music my whole life, that felt fantastic to me, that I had this nephew who could sing the way he could. And when the opportunity presented itself, because of an opportunity that he had to sing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I just thought was like the coolest thing ever, it dawned on me that that would be a perfect opportunity for us to collaborate on something musical that would be more than him singing a cover of some song or the national anthem or God Bless America or whatever he had been doing. And we had a conversation about what that song might look like. And there was this immediate connection between the stories he would tell and the lyrics that he would indicate that made it very simple for me to kind of understand what the points he was trying to get across, that led to now 4 collaborations. So it didn't take, I didn't sit down and really think about it. It felt very natural, and I'm really proud of the work that we've done together. I think it's fantastic.
Well, of course, we do too. And when we come back, we're going to have Alex join in the conversation about what it means to be working with you and My I'm Possible Dream. We are back with My I'm Possible Dream, and I have Joel Moss with me, my brother, and I have Alex Hale, my son, with me. And we were talking before the break that Joel has had dreams in his life. And one of the main dreams is that he'd like this world to be a little bit more peaceful and people working together. And one of the things that I pointed out also was that Joel took this interest in Alex when Alex started developing his vocals. And the two of you started collaborating. Alex, what did it mean to you when somebody in the family really took you seriously?
Well, I want to say, for the record, for years I had tried to, make a statement to him saying, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is, yes, he's my uncle. Yes, he's a 3-time Grammy Award winner. I want the story to be very well noted that this was not given to me on a silver platter. Every single step along the way, he made me earn it. And it got to a point where, I had an idea and I said, we need to work together on something now or else I'm not going to do anything. And he basically told me the idea is right. And it showed that everything that he was trying to teach me indirectly was starting to register. So it was more of everything that I was trying to learn was coming to fruition. It wasn't more of, finally being accepted, because he always believed in me. I mean, he believed in me at age 13 when I did a charity CD. I mean, I went to the studio 2 weeks after getting a song from him saying, learn this in 2 weeks. And suddenly I go in there, blow it away on the first take. So I knew he believed me. It was just more of, was I ready?
So let's go back to that time in Saratoga Springs, New York. And we drove up and he came into your studio and you were working on a CD for the Make-A-Wish Foundation back then. What were you expecting to hear from Alex?
It was an unusual CD because it was the second holiday CD that I had done for fundraising for Make-A-Wish. And that particular CD was called the Saratoga Children's Christmas Wish. And the participants were all kids ages, I think the youngest was 6 and the oldest, we had a cutoff age of 16, I think. So it was all kids singing different Christmas carols and things like that. More cute than professional, I would have to say. But the one dream I had for that was for this final song, I wrote a song for Make-A-Wish that I envisioned having 1,000 kids singing the chorus. So when I asked Alex if he was going to be available, originally I just assumed he would want to sing in the chorus. We'd never worked in a studio. As a matter of fact, he'd never been in a studio. Mm. And it's a very different kind of thing than standing up singing when you have to put on a pair of headphones and stand in front of a microphone. So I just thought he would come, and we had 700 kids in the high school auditorium that we had taught the song to, and they were going to sing along, and I thought that was going to be it for Alex, that he would come and sing with all these kids. Well, when he showed up, he showed up like he was Bruce Springsteen. He had learned the whole song, and he expected that this was his song. And so I said, well, okay, let's go in the studio. And I expected that he would just sing, a line or two, but he knew the whole tune, and he just sang it down, and he's featured prominently on the song because of it. It wasn't, not to say he walked in fully formed, but it wasn't all that rosy. At the time, at 13, I think you were. When you showed up, you were thinking that you knew how this was going to go, and you weren't really open to a lot of direction. And you sang it. I asked you to do a couple of things, and I don't think that went really well the first couple of times. And but we did get some really fantastic stuff, and it's all on the CD, and we were really happy. The follow-up, which took years. I mean,
it took about 6-7 years.
So from that time until we actually wrote our first song together, was, whether I was busy, I was doing other stuff. There were no opportunities that actually popped up that that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing was really the catalyst for getting us going. But the difference between that first experience at 13 years old and the next experience at 18 or 19 years old was night and day. He came in like a seasoned professional when he came in for that session, and completely open to trying different things that he hadn't thought about, and it was as as professional a session as anything that I do with any performer.
So, Alex, when you went into the session with your uncle, and you've talked to us about this before, you went in as a professional. However, you are more professional with your uncle than typically you are with most people. What is it about this relationship that you take direction and you listen and follow through?
Well, I can almost put it in a sports analogy for you.
Okay.
In sports, you look at players like, let's say I'm a rookie, and you look at, let's say, LeBron James, who's got 2 NBA rings. You look at that and you say, whatever he says, I gotta listen to. He's got 3 Grammys. I've held all 3 Grammys in my arms. That tells me right off the bat, he knows what he's doing. How many do I have? I got 0. So I'm the dummy here. He's seasoned, and logic says you listen to the person who is more experienced than you, and if he's got awards to back it up, then that's even more reason to listen. So it's a lot of respect. I mean, a lot of respect for what he's done and what he's earned. And me, with my passion of wanting to get to that point in my career as well.
So what is your dream from this point forward?
My dream is to complete an album. That has been the goal from day one. I never thought we would get to the goal of a demo, which is 4 songs, and we just reached that. At one point, I think we looked at each other with, some sort of doubt, like, I don't know if we'll ever get there, but it's something worth shooting for. And now we've gotten the 4. I'm sitting at home now, trying to come up with more ideas, and it's a lot harder. Once you make the first 4 and everybody says every single song gets better, you start questioning yourself, going like, how can it get any better after the 4th one? And it just keeps going. And I don't know how to build on from that. So I think I sort of hit a writer's block, but the dream continues to be get the album done, get it out there, and whatever happens from there is whatever happens. I've learned from him. You can't expect the unexpected in this business. If no one, accepts the album, if no record company wants to sign me, fine, they're lost. They're going to lose a talented singer who will be open to almost any suggestion and open to any genre possible. And if they accept me, hey, wonderful. I've reached something that everybody in my class thought was next to impossible. So at this point, it's more of, let's see what we can do.
So what is your dream at this point?
For this, I mean, I would love to finish writing. This is the material that we've done is special in a lot of ways. I mean, it's special to work with, somebody who's your family and your blood and somebody that you care about very deeply. But the connection that we made is, beyond just being about that or about the music or about anything else. We've 4 times now sat down and had a conversation about an idea or a feeling or an experience that Alex had, and Alex being on the spectrum, puts those feelings in a place that I can't get to. I can try to empathize. I can try to understand what he's talking about, but I can't feel them myself in the same way. And so what we've done, which I find, remarkable, and I wish everybody had the opportunity to do it, is to talk to somebody who has a very diverse point of view and try to get somehow inside the head of what they're talking about. And that's what we've done with these songs. Alex would present things that at first, we would sit, I would write down notes and phrases, based on things that he would say to me. And at first I couldn't really make a lot of sense to them.
Sure.
And then sometimes in the middle or the end of a conversation, he would say one word or one short phrase, and everything else before that suddenly became clear. The first song that we wrote, Into the Light, came after a series of conversations and emails back and forth where I had asked Alice, can you explain to me what it's like to be you every day? Is there any way you could do that for me? And the explanations, because they were still you, weren't all that cogent for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he started talking about how he saw everything from this dark place, looking to try to get into that lighter place, it all kind of made sense. And that song for me is really, of the 4 songs that we've done, that's the most powerful message. The subsequent songs are different ideas as
Right.
well that are, every bit as important. But that notion of trying to get to something visible, something almost tangible that you can't quite reach, that was very powerful for me.
It's interesting that you should say that, because his father and I, from the time that he was diagnosed, and probably even before that, we knew there was something a little different about Alex. We were trying to figure it out. And then once he got diagnosed, we just wanted to help him. We wanted to, and I don't even want to use the word cure because I know Alex doesn't like that word, but we just wanted to make it easier for him to find that light. And it's not easy to do. And it's taken us this long journey to see the light, to attempt to walk in his shoes. We want other people to do the same thing. And in this past year, Alex has tried to see our light as well, because we walk through a dark tunnel a lot of times. He's tried walking through our shoes. And that's what my I'm Possible dream is all about. Now, Alex and I have had a running joke going on that the name of my show is My I'm Possible Dream. The name of his initiative is My I'm Possible Dream.
The name of my 4th song is My I'm Possible Dream. Copyright infringement.
Okay, but there's a reason for it, because it all comes together. Correct, Alex?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we are all on the same page. When we come back, I'm going to introduce one more person to this group because I think she's amazing. She is our special TL who has supported Alex, supported Joel on this journey, and to me, she is the brightest light on this journey. Welcome back to My I'm Possible Dream. This is Karen, and I am surrounded by talented, loving, glowing people. I have Alex with me, I have Joel with me, and I have TL. That stands for Terry Lynn, in case you're interested. Terry Lynn,
Yes, Karen.
you are she smiles all the time, everybody. I can't wait till I can post her picture. What is it about the music that just makes you light up?
Well, I think for me, the music is, it's the language that everybody understands.
So you've had Alex as a guest in your house because we've sent him to Saratoga Springs to record with his uncle.
Boot camp.
Boot camp, okay. You've had to put up with my kid sprawling around your house. Why? Why would you do that?
Oh. Well, I think to have Alex, with us, well, he's in the first place, he's got an amazing voice, for starters. And he's got a passion. He's got a passion. He has a vision. And, he's making music with his uncle. So why wouldn't I? I mean, I think it's fantastic.
So you're the type of person that Joel was talking about before, so obviously that's why he's with you. Somebody who is open, who loves life and just embraces people.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, life is hard. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm just fascinated. We're all so different. And it's great to, we're all wired so differently. But for me, just to be involved with the music and to be, with Joel and to be a part of that, the creative process, wherever that takes is really great. And it's to see Alex blossom and flourish and to lay down those tracks. It's thrilling.
Yeah.
It really is. It's fantastic. Yeah.
So you've actually seen Alex over the last 10 years grow. You saw him when he did his first recording for the Make-A-Wish album. So you remember when he was, he thought he was hot stuff. He was good, but he wasn't really the hot stuff that he thought he was. And he's grown and he's matured. So where do you see, in your vision, okay, where do you see him going? Do you think he's got the passion he needs?
Sure, I think he's got the passion he needs. Or, everybody, everybody's got their own path. And as far as, getting there or making it or any of that, for me, all of it, it's really about, it's the process. To me, the creative process is where the energy is, and that's where the excitement is. And the end or the result or the album or whatever it is what you get at the end, the end product. But the process of doing it is kind of where it's at, and any kind of creative thing I'm doing, that's where, the real energy happens. So you have to, the doing it is it. It's not, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow or whatever you want to call it. It's,
well, and I even saw that today when you were photographing the family. You had more energy placing us around and setting up the photo, more so than the final product of the photo. So your eyes were lighting up as you were putting it together. Once it was done, it was done.
Right. It's true.
And I sort of see that with Alex too.
It can be a problem. I mean, and you have to kind of almost know that, because it can, at whatever, it could be in a letdown at the end. You come off of that energy. But I think that's what life is. It's a constant flow, and to realize that when you're in that flow, that's the real deal right there. It's really important.
Well, Alex, I think that you've been very lucky that you have embraced these two wonderful individuals into your life, and that they understand not only you, but individuals that have different issues. And it's all about awareness. It's all about seeking your possibilities. Terry Lynn made a very good statement that it's about the energy that you put into it. It's about the process. And know that once you reach that pinnacle, it may feel like everything is crashing down. But it doesn't mean you've got to stop. You can get back into it and maybe create something new, something different. Don't stop. Keep going. That's what it's all about. When you need help, reach out. You've got help around you, Alex. My listeners have help around them as well. So with that, I'm going to wish you all well and tell you that my I'm Possible dream has possibilities. I want to thank my guest, Joel. Thank you for joining us on My Impossible Dream. And Terry Lynn, thank you very much, and keep smiling. And Alex, you're going to make it, and you're going to complete that album, and you're going to hit it off the charts.
And at some point, you will need a new engineer.
Okay.